Changes that could impact your safety. We've told you about the widespread layoffs and terminations within federal agencies due to the Trump administration's push to downsize the federal government. Well, that includes top leaders within the Consumer Product Safety Commission, or CPSC. Consumer advocates fear the downsizing could leave unsuspecting Americans vulnerable to defective or dangerous household products like toys and tools. National investigative reporter Carice Jackman examines the recent firings and looks into the future of product regulation.
At the Consumer Product Safety Commission headquarters in Maryland,
I have worked very hard in therapy so I could come here today and share my story.
But instead of Kipley Haugen's story being heard inside, directly in front of the CPSC commissioners, she's reading it on the sidewalk.
When I was a baby, I was hurt and poisoned by water beads.
The meeting Kipley spent weeks preparing for was abruptly pushed back for months, shortly after 3 Democratic-appointed commissioners, Mary Boyle, Alexander Hohensark, and Richard Trumka Jr. were all fired from their positions. Our national investigative team met Kipley's mother, Ashley, 2 years ago. Ashley explained how a single stray water bead Kipley ingested when she was a baby left her with permanent injuries. Today, nothing is stopping Ashley and Kipley from sharing their story to save others.
Consumer product safety isn't a partisan issue. Honestly, it's border control for dangerous products.
The CPSC is the federal government's consumer watchdog. Founded by Congress in 1972, the commission oversees more than 15,000 household product categories. Richard Trumka Jr., one of the fired commissioners, remembers getting the notification about his termination via email. Trumka now worries about the fate of final safety rules and those pending. Final rules are typically the last step in the rulemaking process for the CPSC before any new consumer regulation is established or enforceable.
You're not going to see the final rules that we talked about that are going to save 100 lives from carbon monoxide poisoning, save 100 lives from toxic dusters, save lives from all kinds of children's products that we're working on right now, save tens of thousands of amputations from table saws. Those aren't going to happen.
Our national investigative team analyzed the Federal Register for 10 products that were under review by the CPSC to mitigate the hazards at the time of the commissioner's firings. Those products were tied to thousands of injuries and deaths, from window coverings and water beads to infant rockers, baby neck floats, and portable generators and table saws. At a White House press conference following the firings, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt argued that President Trump has the authority to fire anyone in the executive branch.
It's a federal agency within which branch? It's the executive branch. Who's the head of the executive branch? The President of the United States.
Created by Congress.
He has the right to fire people within the executive branch. It's a pretty simple answer.
A notion Democratic members of Congress and the dismissed commissioners reject in a lawsuit, calling it unlawful because Congress created the CPSC as an independent federal agency, and removal can only be for neglect of duty or malfeasance in office. The CPSC declined our multiple requests to discuss the matter in person or any of the questions we provided. In a statement, a CPSC spokesperson told our investigative team that with only 2 commissioners, the commission set a new record for the total number of recalls and safety warnings in a single week. They added, to suggest that the work of the commission depends on the individual commissioners removed by President Trump is an insult to the hard work of CPSC's professional staff. They also said that under the Constitution and the CPSC Act, the president has the authority to remove commissioners, which he has exercised lawfully.
Carice Jackman reporting tonight. Turned our